Welcome back to another episode of Wild Sports. I'm Fu, got my boy Sean here with me,
What up?
and we were going to be previewing semifinal game, Texas, Washington. Texas -4, over under 63.5. They're thinking might have a little bit of a shootout. Playing in New Orleans,
Playing in the Superdome,
playing in the Superdome,
or as Hulk Hogan called it, the Silverdome.
the Silver.
Yes.
So I guess Texas gets a little bit of a favor probably with the crowd. I think they're going to travel better anyway.
I agree.
And it's right there next to Texas. So probably a little bit of a factor there. But jumping into this one, I think you got two great offenses, two really fun offenses to watch. Quinn Ewers back healthy, missed a couple games this year. I saw last year he was 58% completion. This year he's up to 70, almost 71%. So big,
Sark, man.
yeah, big improvement there. I love Sark's play calling. Obviously, spent some time in Alabama. He's just a mastermind, I think. Going into this one with Texas on offense. They did lose Jordan Brooks, I believe his name, their starting running back, who was a stud. But a pretty balanced offensive team that does run a little bit. They probably throw a little more, but, just a lot of talent on that Texas team. I know they've got one receiver that you're probably not super fond of.
He has the same qualities as Jermaine. He's just a big game guy.
Yeah.
He always shows up in big games.
Yeah.
Always.
And then also Xavier Worthy, they've got opposite of him. Another big play guy, really fast. A lot of NFL potential there with Worthy. So Washington's got the 90th ranked defense. The rush defense is strong. They're 38th against the rush, but they really struggle against the pass. So I think a key is going to be there is can Washington get pressure on Quinn Ewers? Are they able to do that? Can they limit the run, to kind of slow that side of it up? But what can they do, against the pass? Can you get pressure there? Can you trick Ewers a little bit with the coverage? I think Texas really does love, to throw the deep ball. So can you find those stops there? Can you get the pressure? Can you force them into, second and long, third and long, put them in some bad spots where they can't just kind of do whatever they want to do. And get that pressure on the Texas offense, because that's, I think this is going to come down to a game is who can get the most stops. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think there's going to be point score, but who can limit that to that essence. But what are you thinking with Texas on the offensive side of the ball, the Washington defense?
With Texas offensively, I think we'll see. Honestly, I think we'll see both teams kind of come out a little hesitant, not hesitant, but feeler drives.
Mm-hmm.
And with the new clock rules, that might affect the final score being so high. But overall, with Texas's offense, I don't see them having a problem moving the ball against Washington's defense. Like you said, Brooks being out, you did say he was out, right?
Yes, he's done for the year.
Thought so. Yeah, with him being out, they do lose a playmaker on the rushing side of it. But I think they have so many weapons offensively on the receiving side. You mentioned Worthy. You mentioned A.D. Mitchell. Quinn Ewers is healthy. I don't see them having a problem moving the ball. But I do think this is about to be the classic first-round playoff shootout.
Really do. So I guess getting over to Washington, being on offense. I mean, you talk about a scary offense.
I mean, it's a stereotypical college offense. Sorry, like, scary college offense.
Yeah. I mean, Penix, been in the Heisman talks all year long. Was a front runner for a long time. Um, Adunze is a stud. I mean, he's scary.
Stud.
I mean, 81
He'll
receptions.
be one of the first 4 receivers drafted.
Yeah, I agree.
Probably better than that, but still, I didn't want to oversell.
Yeah, I mean, a big guy, 6'3", 215, big dude, fast, gets behind the defense, 81 receptions for 1,428 yards and 13 touchdowns. Big time stuff. So I saw, I guess he's averaging 109 yards per game. 98th rush offense, so not very effective there, but they've got a running back who's gone crazy this year, so I'm not really sure.
They got a 1,000-yard rusher, 14 touchdowns.
I mean, so a great year for that running back. And Texas struggles against the pass a little bit. Probably the weak point of their defense. So another thing, can they stop the pass? Washington, a team that has struggled in a lot of games this year, but found ways to win. And this is one of those teams that, like we talked about in the college football playoff discussion, do I think they're a top 4 team in the country? No. I think there's teams that are better than them, but are they a team that can absolutely beat anybody in the country? Because of, if you watch our last video, the Alabama Michigan preview, is they have playmakers that can absolutely be a nightmare to you in a football game. They can be a nightmare. And this is their setup. Playoff is set up for teams like this who can get on a hot streak and can win 2 games. This is a team I believe is fully capable of winning the whole thing because of their offense. Their defense probably could and will get them in some trouble, but they have the offense to keep themselves in football games. So again, what can Texas do to slow down that pass? Do they get the pass rush there? Do they force them in the second and long, third and long, get them in tough situations? But I think this is a Washington offense that is capable of hitting big play after big play after big play and making up for the lack of defense that they have, which I think makes this a very, very interesting football game. And I think going to be a really fun one to watch. I mean, what are you thinking, Washington offensively?
I love the matchup of this game.
Yeah.
Love the matchup of this game. Like you mentioned, 90th ranked pass defense for Texas. That's what Washington does. And the thing is, if they overly focus on the pass game, despite Washington not having that rushing team total up there, you clearly have a guy that's got the ability to run the ball. So they can't overly focus on the pass because you got an 1,100-yard rusher over here. And not only that, every receiver has a couple carries this season.
Right.
So it can go into anyone's hands out of sweeps, out of the backfield, that's a dangerous offense. That's a dangerous, mold, really. I love this offense. I think that they are I think this game is going to steal the show. And I don't mean to discredit the Michigan-Alabama game. But I think, every single year we have one good game and then one game that, really didn't want to be watched too much. Now, we're going to enjoy the first game because, we have some interest in those in one of the teams, and we talk about them on a regular basis, so we'll enjoy watching the game. But I think this is going to be the more entertaining game to watch. I see them spreading the ball out. It wouldn't surprise me if 3 guys had 100 yards receiving.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah. First off, I don't think it's going to be more entertaining because I know which one I'm going to be more entertained by. But I get what you're saying. The average spectator. I mean, I hope the Alabama game's boring. I hope we boat race them. But no, I mean, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a blast to watch.
8:45 start time too. Good God.
That's 7:45 in my world, so it's not near as bad. Is that Central Time?
Real world?
7:45 in my world.
Oh, well, your world. Gotcha.
That's that Central Time, man. It's great. No, but yeah, I mean it's because I don't know. I'm feeling really strong about Washington, but I also look back at their schedule and how many games that they should have lost.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I watched like 3 that I was really rooting for them to lose. But look,
everybody almost adds to the grit of that team, though.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's tough, but then I answer that with they were supposed to get beat by Oregon. Everybody predicted Oregon to beat them convincingly. I probably did as well.
If we did a preview, I would have.
Yeah, I would have taken Oregon for sure, and they beat them 34-31. So, and they beat Oregon twice in one season. A great football team, tough to do. One that everybody was a shoe-in to get in because they all thought they were going to beat Washington. I think you see something similar to, the Washington-Oregon game, Washington-USC with Caleb. I think, you get into a shootout type scenario. Mm-hmm. I just think Washington's a very interesting football team. It's funny, I look back and they only beat Arizona State 15-7. So, but every other game just about's high scoring. So going into predictions on this one, this should be fun.
Predictions.
What you got? I did the last one first. Let's hear what you got first.
That's fine.
What you got?
So I love me my lefties.
Oh, you do love old lefty.
And I'm feeling some big Penix energy. All right. I am feeling that big Penix energy.
Yeah, I hear you.
Let me get 41-38 Huskies.
Wow. 41-38 Washington.
I love it.
I like it. I'm not feeling the big Penix energy. I think he makes it interesting.
That's your loss.
I would love to see Washington win this game, but I just think the defense doesn't get enough stops. So I'm going 38-31 Texas. I think Texas finds a way. I think I see Texas maybe getting up 2 scores, maybe 14-7, maybe even 3 scores possibly, but Washington working their way back into it and making it interesting. I think, I think Washington offense does enough to keep them in this game, make it interesting, make it exciting to watch. But in the end, I think Texas just has too much talent, too balanced all the way around. I think Texas pulls it off 38-31.
So we both have Texas with 38 points.
We do. I'm just missing 10 over there on Washington's side. It would be interesting. I'm excited to see it. Y'all let us know what y'all think. What's your prediction of this one? Y'all like, comment, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button down there. Go ahead and let us know what you think. Who's going to the national championship? Texas or Washington? Till next time. Peace.